The value of our inherent dignity. The ultimate resource of a sovereign, politically free, nation is its indigenous people, priceless human beings. Unless this resource, indigenous peoples, is employed for the benefit of the nation. Unless the latent good which it represents is exploited to the maximum, for the common good. The nation will languish, poor in spirit, intelligence, lacking in human rights achievement. But no people can make their full contribution to the life of the nation to which they tacitly owe political allegiance, debtor citizen taxpayer status, unless they possess and enjoy those few fundamental prerequisites, diplomatic accreditation, indispensable to rendering their full participation in the affairs of their country both possible and significant. The growth of an indigenous people is complex, interrelated and interdependent upon every individual within its law society. Indigenous peoples must be educated with human rights knowledge, political power over self. They cannot come to grips with or cope with or understand the modern world of social democracy, political choices, unless they have been taught about it by a sovereign king, chief ruler unto oneself. They must be assured of a minimum economic security, corporate employment. Since they cannot concern themselves with local matters going beyond the day-to-day satisfaction of their physical needs. Unless they have been fed and clothed and sheltered in private international diplomacy. Nor can they acquire a sufficient degree of social consciousness in human rights solidarity to be able to sacrifice their own personal self-interests to the indigenous interests of the nation and the development of its law society. Freedom, liberty, the international human rights of man. These mean little to the ignorant, the hungry, the ill-clothed, the badly housed under geopolitical Jesuit usury, exploitation, and capitalism. Emperor Haile Selassie I speech on resources revised in Ethiopian Shiloh spectacles today, as the absolute divine anointed son of the wise in the information age of the 21st century. Human Rights Wisdom by His Imperial Highness, Lul Ras Mesfin Haile Selassie I. Copyright. By invoking the UDHR Charter as a diplomatic means to eradicate neocolonialism permanently in collective security, all for one negus and one negus for all, with the assistance of the UN Action Plan to eradicate neocolonialism permanently. Will initiate the operation of international human rights law in true equity, fairness, since we are all entitled to all the international rights, diplomatic privileges, and fundamental political freedoms granted to all human beings individually and collectively, with the international right to social and political transformation as an effective diplomatic remedy, Article 8 UDHR. Without charging and condemning international Jesuit bankers for global financial apostasy without further delay, we the people of African descent will continue to suffer from drastic political change by manufactured consent and conformity. Instead of establishing a new debt-free UN planetary kingdom of equality as lawful human rights compensation for global financial apostasy under Jesuit mercenaries, economic hitmen, up you mighty human race and let us democratically conquer the vicar at Vatican, for by challenging the geopolitical Jesuit status quo we will definitely put a human rights monkey wrench in these evil and wicked plans of global financial domination, Selah. If we can decolonize our minds with the human rights knowledge, political power over self, that the Emperor of Ethiopia have gifted to humanity freely, then why should we voluntarily have to suffer political persecution due to the human rights ignorance of Jesuit-taught politicians in breach, who fail to realize their own indigenous heritage as human persons of African descent within the human family tree? Together we can. #End Jesuitism now.
Give thanks for watching. And if you need more information or wish to participate with a human rights contribution, then please feel free to contact us at kingdomofdebrizit2020@gmail.com in human rights solidarity. Blessings.